Hello student, this is video part 4 of your chapter from The Enemy. Till now we studied that Hannah is fitting this man by her own hands. Even she dislikes that man. Actually now you will be soon be strong. You will soon be strong, she said, not liking him, and yet moved to comfort him. Actually Hannah spoke this, and she wished that man that will be strong soon. And even she dislikes him. Not only she is after Sadao also, her husband also dislikes this man, and all the Japanese dislikes all the Americans, because it is the incident of Second World War, and in Second World War Americans were enemies of Japanese. But he did not answer. That American did not reply anything. When Sadao came in the third day, this is the third day of the operation. The operation of this young man has been performed by Dr. Sadao, and now this is third day, and he has came back into his senses after the operation. So third day, it is the third day of operation. Dr. Sadao came to visit this man. He found the young man sitting up. He found that young man was sitting up in his bed. He was not lying, he was sitting. His face bloodless with the effort, and because he was just operated, he had lost too much blood in operation, and he was shot badly by a bullet also, and he was badly injured. So he has no blood left in his body. Actually he has no strength left in his body, but he was sitting. And for even for sitting effort, you know that if someone is ill, even smallest physical effort makes that man totally tired. So this man also, this American also become very tired, and his face was looking yellowish color, bloodless, that is yellowish color, because he would have actually tried too much for sitting into the bed. Lie down, Sadao crowd. Do you want to die? Dr. Sadao said that, do you want to die? Means why are you sitting? Your stitches will be open. So Dr. Sadao cried. He forced the man down gently. Then he picked the man, and he forced him he made him to lie gently but strongly, and examined the wound, and he checked the wound, the operated area actually. You may kill yourself if you do this sort of thing, he scolded. Further he scolded the American, as a doctor is called his patient. He totally forgot that he is an American, and later on he will die actually. So I am saving him, and these words are only of a mere importance in the context of this American. You may kill yourself if you do this sort of thing. He says that if you will kill yourself, you will die if you will do such of things. Means if you will try to sit in the bed, and if you will try to come out of the bed and try to walk, it will be dangerous for you. Then that American asked, "What are you going to do with me?" The boy muttered. That American boy muttered, because he was only barely 20 plus years of age. He asked that, "Doctor, what are you going to do with me?" He looked just now barely 17, and while he spoke this statement, he was looking just 17 years of age, because he was looking so lean and thin because of operation, and he was less aged also. "Are you going to hand me over?" Then he further asked that, "Doctor, are you going to hand me over to the police, to the army cops?" For a moment, Sadao did not answer. Sadao had no answer of this question, because what he should say, he couldn't say that I am going to release you, I am going to escape you from the hands of Japanese police and Japanese army, and he also couldn't say that I am going to hand him over. That's why he couldn't speak anything. He finished his examination. He came for examining the wound of that American. He finished that examination, and then pulled the silk quilt over the man, and then he uh, co- uh, pulled the silk quilt over the man. Means he made himself comfortable. "I do not know myself what I shall do with you." Then he is now answering the question of this man, that what are you going to do with me, doctor? He's answering, "I do not know myself." Dr. Sadao said that, "I don't know myself that what I shall do with you." He said, "I ought of course give you to the hand to the police, and definitely it is my moral duty to give you to the police. You are a prisoner of war. Because you are a prisoner of war, no, do not tell me anything." While Dr. Sadao spoke this, that American thought to speak something, but Dr. Sadao indicated him and said, "No, no, do not tell anything to me." He put his hands, as he saw the young man was about to speak. He put his hands over his lips, as he thought the man was about to speak. He said that, "No, don't speak anything. Do not even tell me your name unless I ask it." And then he told that, "Don't tell me your name even if I don't ask you." They looked at each other for a moment, and both Dr. Sadao and that American prisoner looked at towards each other for a moment. And then the young man closed his eyes. And turned his face towards face to the wall, and he turned toward the wall and he lay down. Okay, he whispered. He told okay. He his mouth a bitter line, and while he spoke okay. There was a bitter line, means there was an anger on his face. Outside the door, Hannah was waiting for Sadao, and just outside that American's door, Hannah, his wife was Dr. Sadao's wife, was waiting for him. He saw at once that she was in trouble. He saw clearly on the face of Hannah that she was having some problem. She was having some trouble. Sadao, Yumi tells me the servants. Now you will see that what kind of trouble Dr. Sadao noticed on the face of Hannah. As soon as Dr. Sadao went out of that American's room, Hannah told Sadao, Yumi tells the servants. Yumi, you know that she is a maid servant. So Hannah told to Sadao that Yumi tells the servants feel they cannot stay if we hide this man here anymore. Means this is the reason of Hannah's worry, because Yumi has informed her that all the servants are saying that they could not stay in this house anymore if they will hide this American in their house any further. She said, means Hannah said, she tells me that they are. She is here for Yumi. Yumi tells further. Hannah informs to Dr. Sadao that Yumi tells me that they are saying that you and I were so long in America, that we both were for such a long time in America that we have forgotten to think of our own country first. Means we were if in America for so many for so many years, and that's why the servants are saying it is a blame from on the behalf of servants, that they are saying that we both stayed in America for a long time for a study purpose, and that's why we think about the Americans first and our country second. Means they are directly blaming that we are the traitors. Means we are not the country lovers, we are not the nation lovers. They think we like Americans. Further, she told that the servants think that we are like Americans. We like Americans, means we prefer Americans and Japanese later on. It is not true, Sadao said harshly. Sadao said angrily that it is not true. Americans are our enemies. He further told that Americans are our enemies, but I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. But I'm a doctor and I have given a training that I should not allow a man to die in front of my eyes if I can save that man. The servants cannot understand that, she said anxiously, but it is a moral thing, it is a moral issue. So Hannah told, but the servants cannot understand that you are being trained to save anyone. Means you are a doctor and it is your moral duty to save a patient. But servants can't understand that, she said anxiously. She told in worry. No, he agreed. Dr. Sadao said, yes, servants can't understand this. Neither seemed able to say more. Now at this point of time, neither Hannah and nor Dr. Sadao spoke anything, and somehow the household dragged on, and somehow the household activities continued. Means servants did not leave immediately, they continued the work. The servants grew more watchful, but the servants become very watchful now, very careful now. Their courtesy was as careful as ever. Their courtesy means their respect towards their masters. Dr. Sadao and Hannah was as careful, means they were giving respect, proper respect to both his husband and wife, but their eyes were cooled upon the pair to whom they were hired. But now in their eyes they could see the anger that is cold, means they could see the anger for them for whom they were hired. Means they were hired by Dr. Sadao and Hannah because they were paying him. They were paying the servants, but the servants were showing respect, but actually they were not doing the respect by heart. It is clear what our master ought to do, the old gardener said one morning. It is incident of one morning. The old gardener said that it is very clear that what our master should do, means what Dr. Sadao should do. He had worked with flowers all his life. This man, gardener, has worked with flowers all his life, and had been a specialist too in moss, and he was a very specialist in a moss garden. Moss is a kind of grass, you can say. He was very specialist in growing grass garden. For Sadao's father, he had made one of the finest moss gardens in Japan, and this gardener has made. He's serving in Dr. Sadao's house for a long time, because he served his father also, Dr. Sadao's father also, and on the request of Dr. Sadao's father, he had made one of the finest moss gardens in Japan for him. Sweeping the bright green carpet constantly, that not a leaf or a pine needle marred the velvet of its surface, and he all the time kept sweeping, means kept cleaning that moss garden, the soft upper layer surface constantly, and he kept sweeping that constantly, continuously, and he did not allow even a single leaf to fall on that soft moss velvet garden and to mud means damage them. My old master's son, the gardener is speaking actually. My old master's means who is the old master? Sadao's father is the old master of this gardener. He says that my old master's son, and who is the old master's son? Dr. Sadao knows very well what he ought to do, and he further repeated his statement as he repeated in the first line. He repeated that my old master's son knows very well that what he should do. Uh, he now said, further he told, pinching a bud from a bush, and at this time while he spoke this statement, he was plucking a bud from a bush flower as he spoke. When the man was so near death, why did he not let him bleed? He further told that when the man, means American, was so near about to die, and he was then why our doctor, our master did not allow him to bleed, means die. Why he allowed him to? Why he saved him? That young master is so proud of his skill to save his life that he saves any life. The cook said contemptuously, angrily. The cook said angrily. Now, cook also joined gardener. This is the second servant actually. The cook also joined gardener. The servant who did the cooking process in Dr. Sadao's house. He also joined him, and he told that our young master, Mr. Dr. Sadao, is so proud of he has so proud on his skill as a doctor that he saves anyone's life. He doesn't care that whom he is saving. Either he saves either that man is enemy or friend. She spilled a foul snake. Actually, the cook is a lady. She spilled means at this time she cut the fowl means you can say cock neck means she's cutting a cock skillfully, very skillfully, and held the fluttering bird. And after while the head was spared of that cock, she kept that bird held near the and let his blood flow into the roots of wisteria vine, and she allowed the blood that was coming out of the neck area of that cock to fall into the wisteria. Wisteria is a kind of flower actually. Blood is the best of fertilizer because blood is the best of fertilizers, and the old gardener would not let her waste a drop of it, and the old gardener was well aware of it, and he did not allow her to waste even a single drop of blood anywhere. He wanted that all drop of this cock blood should fall into the root of wisteria because it will give its a lot of strength. It is the children of whom we must think, Yumi said saintly. Yumi was also there. So all three servants are gathered at one place and discussing. She further told that we are not thinking about Dr. Sadao and Hana. We must think about the children. What will happen of them? What will be their fate if their father is condemned as a traitor? What will be the fate of the children of Dr. Sadao if their father will be condemned as a traitor, means as an anti-national element? They did not try to hide what they said from the ears of Hana as she stood arranging the day's flower in the veranda nearby. Actually, while these all three servants were talking, at a very close distance, Hana was standing, and they were speaking with the purpose. They did not try to hide, means they were not trying to hide what they were speaking from the ears of Hana. Means they were willing that Hana should listen whatever they are speaking, they are talking. It was their intention that Hana should listen them that what they are talking. As she stood arranging the day's flower, and what Hana was doing, Hana was standing and arranging the day's flower. It's a kind of flower actually. So she was which blossoms in daytime only. So she was arranging the day's flower in the veranda nearby, just at a very close distance where the servants were talking. She was arranging the flowers, and she knew they spoke on the purpose that she might hear, and she knew very well that all the servants were speaking with the purpose that she should listen them. That they were right, she knew too in most of her being, and she also knew very well that whatever the servants were speaking, they were not wrong, they were right. But there was another part of her which she herself could not understand. But there was another part of her character which she could not understand. What was that? Wife of Dr. Sadao, and as an mistress of all the servants. If she will agree with the servants, Dr. Sadao will be all alone. That's why she has problem. It was not sentimental liking of the prisoner. Actually, it was not the sentiment of her that she liked the prisoner American. She had come to think of him as a prisoner. She always thinks about that American as a prisoner. She had not liked him even yesterday. Now, now Hana remembered here an incident which took place yesterday when he when he had said in his impulsive way. When it is incident of yesterday that when Hannah was in the room of that American, as you know that Hannah herself used to feed that man. So she spoke in a very that American spoke in a very impulsive way, means very angry way. Anyway, let me. This is the statement of American which he spoke yesterday to Hannah. Hannah did not like his statement, and he told, anyway, let me tell you that my name is Tom. Actually, Dr. Sadav had asked him that if I don't ask your name, you are not going to tell your name also to me. He told that anyway, but my name is Tom. She had only bowed her little distant bow. She had only little bowed, means she only bent at a little distance bow, means she showed only respect to bend to that man. She did not. It is a Japanese proper Japanese way. It is a you can say ritual Japanese way to do namaskar to anyone. That is a bow. Means her bow, her waist area bowed a little bit up, and she only replied in a respective way. But she couldn't speak a single word. She saw hurt in his eyes, but she did not wish to assuage it. Hannah could notice clearly that in his eyes there was a hurt. Means he was feeling very emotional because no one was talking him. Indeed, he was a great, but she was not going to excuse me. She was not going to lessen, to decrease, to soothe his pain. She was not interested in him. Indeed, he was a great trouble in this house, and actually, this man, this American, was a great trouble in this house, and all the trouble was just because of this American.